thanks so much for tuning in for another Hawkins Corner. So today on Hawkins Corner, we're going to be talking about two things: pre-poos and the aloe vera plant for natural hair, and why, if you have not been using them, you may want to highly consider putting them into your hair care regimen. So a pre-poo is basically a treatment that happens prior to shampooing your hair. You may be wondering or asking the question, why do I need to do anything before I shampoo my hair? So let's get into that. When you're pre-pooing, you're basically putting some type of product in your hair that is going to moisturize your hair prior to shampooing it. The question is, well, why? Because this moisture is going to act as a protective layer prior to you shampooing, and then it's going to help you with retaining moisture. So pre-pooing, it should be done by every natural, in my opinion, but especially those of you are like me who suffer from maintaining moisture and may experience like dryness, or the lock method doesn't work, or the LCO method doesn't work for you. So what are some other benefits for the pre-poo? Basically, when you're doing that pre-poo and you're putting that moisture in your hair, when you shampoo, it's not going to strip all that moisture off of your hair. Therefore, when you get to the deep conditioning portion of your wash day, you'll notice that your hair may be more moisturized, it may be softer, it may be more vibrant, because that pre-poo is adding that extra moisture into your hair that you need to retain moisture. So if you look at my wash day video, you'll notice that my pre-poo of choice used to be the hot oil treatment, but I found that this treatment works much better and it moisturizes much better than the hot oil treatment for my 4C high porosity hair. So another benefit of pre-pooing is that it helps with the detangling. A lot of people just want to take a comb and just through the hair, but remember, you need to be as delicate with your hair as much as you want your hair to be long. So the longer you want your hair, the more delicate you need to be with it. And personally, I really don't use combs. I kind of finger comb through, because that pre-poo is helping me get through and detangle without having to use a comb or a brush or anything like that. Overall, it's going to create more moisture, which is going to decrease the amount of shedding and help you retain length. Now let's talk about the aloe vera plant. So the first thing is the aloe vera plant. If you've noticed, like way back in the day, your grandmother may have put the aloe vera plant on your scrapes, your burns, or whatever, and then you would notice like that you wouldn't have a scar, or it would heal super fast. Those same properties that you use for wounds and other areas, those are the same properties that can actually be very beneficial for natural hair. So let's talk about what's in the aloe vera plant that promotes healthy hair growth, moisture, and all of those good things. So there are 3 vitamins that work together, and these 3 vitamins are the vitamin A, C, and E. And those vitamins basically promote cell turnover. Cell turnover is what you need to create new cells, to create new follicles, to create longer, healthier hair. They also have vitamin B12 and folic acid, and those 2 things will make your hair stronger and prevent your hair from breaking. Another thing, which is the most important thing about the aloe vera plant, is okay, let me see if I can get it right. Proteolysis, yes, the proteolysis enzyme. So the proteolysis enzyme is the number one thing that is going to help with the promotion of hair growth, because it is going to repair the dead skin cells on your scalp. So we know that everybody has dead skin cells. If you have dandruff, you may have more than others. If you have some type of skin condition, you may have more than others. But it's very important to get exfoliate that scalp and get all of that dead skin off, so it can open up those follicles so they can come through and grow. So what that enzyme does is it kind of just eradicates all of those dead cells. So although we wash our hair and do things like that, this is an extra boost to make sure that all of those dead cells are gone, and then all of those other vitamins are basically promoting that regeneration, like, come on hair, come, and boom, you got hair. That's how it works. So those are the main factors as to why you should use the aloe vera plant. And it also increases blood circulation to your scalp, which creates more hair growth. And then the last thing is, pretty much it is very cost effective. If you're a product junkie, you do not have to go out and spend like $50,000 on Mielle products, as I am. All of these different products, when you have a plant like right there at your disposable, that you can just pull out a leaf and use it. So I got my leaf from HEB for $1.98, and I'm actually considering getting a plant and just growing my own plant so I can have it whenever I need it, because there are so many benefits to it. So it is all natural and it's super cheap. And the question is, why would you not use it? Because it has so many benefits. So let's get right into it and let's make our aloe vera pre-poo. You're going to need a knee-high or some type of strainer, an aloe vera leaf, a cutting board, a blender, and aloe vera juice if you choose to do so. So you're going to take your aloe vera leaf and you're going to cut the bottom part off. I'm going to still use that bottom part because it still has inner fillet in it, and that inner fillet is where all the moisture and the good stuff is. And then you're going to cut off the portion of the aloe vera leaf that you're going to use, and I'm just showing you all that goodness on the inside of the leaf. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut the borders of the leaf. Now you want to make sure that you don't cut them too thin like I just did, because you're going to have to go back and recut them again, and make sure that you don't cut too thick as to take away some of the inner fillet, because we want to get as much of that off as we can without wasting any of the aloe vera plant. The next thing you're going to do is cut it in half. And the purpose of cutting it in half is because of the fact that we're going to scrape all of that goodness out of it to create our pre-poo. And then if you look at the consistency, it's like a membrane, kind of like a mucus consistency, and that is where the nutrients and the moisture comes from. So I saw this trick with another person where they basically cut it up into squares, and then when you scrape it off, it's supposed to be easier to maneuver into your blender cup or whatever you're using. I tried to do it this way at first to kind of give you a view of it, but I would definitely not recommend that, or you might cut your thumb off. But as you can see, the little squares are coming up and they're going into the cup or wherever they want to go. Now, I did not see this as being very beneficial. So if you just want to cut the inner fillet out, you can cut the inner fillet out also in one big chunk. But the way this is done, they state that it's supposed to kind of blend it a little faster and just break down the blending process and cut off the time. So then it's going to all slide down into that cup like slime, and then there is no aloe vera fillet left behind. So I'm going to get all of it, and then I'm moving on to the next part of the leaf, doing the same process, cutting it out and making sure that I get all of it in the cup. As you can see, it's super slimy, so you definitely want to keep that towel handy, girl, because you're going to need it. And I've scraped that clean, and that's what you want to do. Here's another view so that you can just see the scraping process. You're just scraping the top layer, and now we have our inner fillet. So the next thing we want to do is we want to blend it, but you want to pulse it. You do not want to hold down your blender. The purpose is just to get it to where it is of a consistency that's like a gooey consistency, but not like a water. And the reason why we're doing that is because we're using it as a pre-poo and a conditioner. And if you try to basically blend it down to a water, it's going to roll all the way down your hair or your face. So as you can see here, it's going to have that frothy milk look at the top, and then it should be super slimy. I'm going the extra step and adding aloe vera juice. You do not have to do this step, but it just creates a better consistency. And remember, you do not want to add a lot of aloe vera juice because you want it to be thick and slimy so that it can coat your hair, and then you can use it as a conditioner or a pre-poo, and then post just a little bit more. Now the next process is to strain out. You can either use a handheld strainer and strain it in that way, or you can use the stocking or pantyhose method, and that is what I'm using. So you're going to take your pantyhose, wrap it over the lip of whatever type of container you're using, and then you are going to just squeeze it out. Well, you're going to pour it in first, and then you're going to squeeze it out. I do wish I would have just did this in the applicator bottle, but the applicator bottle lip is not large enough. So as you can see, the bottom of the pantyhose are expanding, and that is all of that juice. And then you have to be kind of careful when you're squeezing it out so you don't squeeze it out all over your countertop. But you want to make sure that it stays inside of whatever you're using while you're squeezing, so everything can get in there. And you get quite a lot out of that one little portion of the aloe vera leaf. So now I'm just squeezing, and then you're seeing the foam. Now, if you don't have foam, then you probably processed it too much. You probably blended it too much. But that foam is kind of letting you know that it's not blended down to a liquid state. It's still in a gel form. And you can also make aloe vera gel out of it, which is like a good edge control. Maybe I'll try something like that next and put essential oils and those types of things in there. So you're going to squeeze it out, and then bam, you're done. Pour that into your applicator bottle, and now you're ready for your next step, which is the pre-poo using the aloe vera juice. All right, so that's all to it. As you can see, it's a super easy process, super quick. The aloe vera juice was an option. All you basically need is a strainer, a cup, a blender, and the aloe vera leaf. And most of that stuff you probably already had at home. So again, if you have extremely dry hair, some type of scalp condition like dandruff, or something that doesn't require additional medicinal help, you definitely may want to consider this as a way to not only moisturize your hair, but to retain the moisture. So throughout the week, because I'm not using this but once a week, I basically use the aloe vera juice and mix it with a fenugreek seed water, and I mix those two things together. I spray them all over my hair in the morning and at night and leave it in a protective style, and I have experienced so much moisture retention because of doing those two things. And I did want to comment that if you looked at this video, or wherever it is, if you looked at my Uridic oil video, you will notice that I was stating that my hair was really dry and I couldn't figure out what it was. There were two issues. One, I used rice water and I have high porosity hair, and I think my hair got like a protein overload because when I poured the rice water in my hair, it was so brittle like immediately when I rinsed the water out of my hair, and I only left it in for 30 minutes. So you might want to be leery of that if you're 4C high porosity, like not putting too much protein in your hair, finding out that I had enough protein already. And then two, that oil had coconut oil in it, which does not work really well for my hair, which taught me a lesson. Regardless of other people's recipes or what they're doing, like this aloe vera pre-poo, make sure you research your hair's porosity and find the things that are beneficial to your hair. Stay in your porosity lane, because if you don't, then you're going to run into problems like that, and then you're going to have to research ways to fix the problem instead of using what works best for your hair. So that's all I got, guys. Hopefully this helped you. If you have any other ways to retain moisture or any other natural videos that you'd like to see, leave your comments down below. I appreciate you all so much for your support. So don't forget to like, share, and please, please, please subscribe if you're not subscribed. And remember to join the Facebook group, Natural Girls Rock. It's a supportive way for us to be a community and just share and support one another. So thanks, guys, so much. All the details are at the bottom. And I think that is it. So I'll see you guys next time on Hawkins Corner.